Absolute Rugby with Sean Cadavillis.
So the Diani Beach International Touch Rugby Tournament finally gets underway on Friday. It continues right until Sunday. Let's get the latest from the organizer, George Barber. Hi, George.
Morning, Sean. Everything's going well here. Here am I sitting on the beach at Diani. It's a lovely sunny morning. The goalposts are up. All the bases for the flags are in the sand. And basically, we're all set to go.
Now, last time we spoke, you had put the posts up. Has it held up?
Yeah, they've all held up. In fact, one we're going to have to lower today because one of the windsocks at the top that advertised the 40 Thieves has come off. So, but we're actually laying it on the sand right at this very minute. It's low tide, and we hope to be able to get it up quickly, and I hope it'll stand up.
Now, George, it is a stunning setting, Diani Beach. Everything in place now.
Yeah, it's beautiful down here this morning. The sun is shining. We had a shower earlier on, and it's all set. We've actually already got 20 sides. We did have 22, but I've removed 2 because our scoring system only works in multiples of 4. So we're going to have 20 sides and 6 children's side, which will be coming all the way down from North Kenya, Nanyuki, and Laikipia.
That's great, actually. Are you happy with that?
I'm very happy with it. Yeah, we can run a very good tournament, but the standard is very high. We've got some very good teams this year, and as it's progressed over the years, slowly it's got better and better. And we will have an FIT observer here, and it'll be interesting to see just what he makes of it.
Yeah, just tell us more about that.
Well, the FIT have been pushing us hard to try. They want a Kenya side to go to Malaya in 2019 to the Touch Rugby World Cup. Now, this is really sort of a trial for that. They're just going to have a look and see what the standards are like, and see if we do have to be able to have some progress.
George, you're talking about international standards. What are the standards like here for touch rugby?
Well, in actual fact, we're just beginners down here compared to the rest of the world. We're slow starters on this, but we are progressing very fast, and the standards every year the standards improve immensely.
All right, can you just tell us what happens now, beginning with Friday?
Well, tomorrow night we start. The first games will be at 6:00 tomorrow night, and we will probably be playing approximately 32 games tomorrow evening, which will take us probably from 6:00 through to about 10:30. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we will start the tournament at 9:00 in the morning. The Friday and the Saturday are both played on league basis, and the Sunday morning is always the knockout competition, and we always have prize giving at 2:00 for the sake of people having to get back to Nairobi on catching flights and one thing and another.
Now, one thing upcountry people have to get used to is the humidity and stuff, but the advantage of playing on the beach, there's always a breeze, huh?
Well, there's a breeze, and also it's very cool down here at the moment, and the humidity is not too bad. It's actually very pleasant.
And how's it looking in terms of a social event? This is always one of the key social events of the year. How's it looking for this weekend? Are there many people down in Diani? I know the locals really embrace this tournament.
Yeah, the people are beginning to fill up. At the moment, it's fairly quiet, but as from tomorrow, we're expecting a lot of people. We're expecting at least 1,000 people here over the weekend.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah, it's very impressive, and it's good for the beach. It's good for everybody on the south coast.
George, from Diani's perspective, have you noticed much change since the SGR started operating?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that, because last weekend we had a theme party here, all white. And we had a lot of people come here on the Saturday night to that party. And I talked to a lot of them, and a lot of them actually had come down on SGR, and they were all very, very impressed. I never heard one bad word about it. The only hiccup is getting from there to here. It takes you just about as long to get from there to here as it does from Nairobi to Mombasa. But everyone was very, very impressed with the whole setup of the railway.
You get the feeling that once it's set up, the road, the access road, and then eventually the bypass as well, it's going to be so convenient, huh?
It's going to be a big boost to the South Coast, that's for sure. I mean, this railway is certainly going to help us down here. They're busy doing road construction around the entrance of the airport there, which is rather blocky, gets blocked up with lorries occasionally. But in actual fact, it's going to be a big boost to the whole coast. There's no doubt about that.
George, from your perspective, from an organizational point of view, anything different this year?
No, basically it will be much the same. We've now done it. This is the 9th time we've done it now, I think, and we've got things running pretty smoothly. We will have Friday night. Tonight we will bring the lighting towers in. Base Titanium are very generous, and they let us have 2 big lighting towers which can light the beach up, because we will be playing on 4 pitches on tomorrow night under floodlight, and it's a great atmosphere.
That sounds very impressive. Just tell us about some of the other sponsors you got on board.
Well, we've got the East African breweries have come on in a big way this year. They're doing a lot. We've got the coastal bottlers have come along, Dasani with water. So they're the main sponsor. But we have a lot of very small sponsors just come in. We'll be putting a few banners up here, there, and everywhere.
George, you must be quite happy with that. It's not easy to get sponsors these days.
No, it's extremely difficult, especially in the sort of from the local tourism down here. Having been so low, you can't tap any hotels because they're all pleading hardship, which I understand. But some of our sponsors have come on board, and it's very much appreciated.
George, what's next now? You got the FIT people come in. What happens? I guess they write a report, and then what happens after that?
Well, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I'm a bit in the dark on that one. There will be a report goes to the main body, which is in Australia, and we're just waiting for feedback there. But I'm hoping that it will lead to getting international coaches here, and we can select a running body of probably 40 or 50 players with potential to go to Malaya in 2019.
Fantastic. And just finally, the South Coast Pirates, of course, they're in training at the moment. How's that going?
It's going very well. In fact, South Coast Pirates are running 3 teams this weekend. So I just hope it doesn't happen as last year, as they met each other in the final. I would like someone else to win it this year. So because everyone thinks it's a fix if my team wins all the time. So I'm up, but there's a lot of opposition this year, and I think they'll find it very hard to repeat what they did last year.
All right, so don't forget, of course, it's 20 teams competing over 3 days on the 7th, 8th and 9th of July. That is Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Teams coming from upcountry and as far as Mogadishu. The Diani Beach International Touch Rugby Tournament. George Barber, the organizer. Thank you so much, and we'll do a recap next week, huh?
Okay, lovely, Sean. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing everybody down here as from tomorrow.
Absolute Rugby with Sean Cadavillis.